நான் யாருங்கிறத எப்போவுமே நான் முடிவு பண்ணுறதில்ல, என் எதிரில் நிற்கிறவங்க தான் முடிவு பண்ணுவாங்க.
The script demanded a lot of high-speed running and climbing of the mountains, and a lot of things on the bike riding, difficult bike riding, with drifting, and he has to go way down to the road and wheeling and a lot of stuff. Movie with a lot of action involved in it. So I wanted each and every action sequence to be completely different from what the previous one. What about the Vedala?
Okay.
In Vivegam itself, it had some beautiful chases, spine-chilling chases, and good fist fights. And there is a sword fight, and there is a nunchak fight.
So you're more or less covering all the weapons out there. Welcome to Cinema Express's show, not just an interview. Let me start off by asking you a question that you no doubt have been asked a lot in recent times. You've almost become Ajith's exclusive director.
Doing movies with Ajith sir is like really a boon. He's a fantastic, versatile actor, as well as very sensible person, very honest person. For a director to get associated with such kind of person, it's like a boon. And I would like to do n number of movies with Ajith sir. But he has to say that.
Yeah.
If he calls me, I'll be there. I'm just a call away from him. If he calls me, I'll just.
And that's the nature of our industry, la?
Yes.
The actors more or less decide which directors they generally work with.
I will not say that it is a nature, sir. Basically.
No, I mean, Ajith is now free to decide who he works with.
Yes. Yes. Everybody, sir. Everybody, like even a director has the hand or hold to decide whom he is going to work with.
Okay.
But if there is happiness in an association, if there is positivity in an association, I don't find the need to break it, sir. I don't find the need to break it.
And what is this that's working so well between you that keeps you guys working together?
Yes, sir. That is the right question to be answered, because he is a very hard-working person, and I rate myself as a hard-working person too, because I'm really obsessed with what I'm doing. I really don't know whether I'm talented or not, but I can be sure of one thing, that I'm very sincere to what I'm doing, sir. I really give me 100%. I'm obsessed with what I'm doing. So this kind of quality, this kind of hard work, I see it in Ajith sir also.
So when you guys say hard work, what exactly do you mean?
Yes, hard work is that unconditional, sir. For the last 10 days, the same NAC studio, this is the studio where the post-production is happening. I was here without any sleep, without proper sleep, basically. We were supposed to deliver the prints yesterday before, but there are a lot of perfection which is needed for the script. So we all gave 100% without sleep. It was a lot of hard work put in, sir. I would like to say, if you want me to explain the hard work, is shooting in minus 15 degrees,
Right.
Climbing big mountains just for a simple glimpse, to explore a new vision, new block.
And is this something that, from your understanding, filmmakers don't generally do?
Not this much, sir.
No?
Not this much. See, I've done movies in 4 languages.
Yes.
Even as myself, I would like to compare my work with my previous work, not with anybody else.
Okay.
See, when I say hard work, I have never put in so much of myself into any other of my own movies. So for Veeram or Vedalam or Saratri, I have never went this extra mile, working late nights, leaving family away, working in extreme conditions, taking risks, like climbing a mountain which didn't have proper rope support, with the support of the person who's guiding us, like a human chain. We did that. So all these things we have never done it.
And what about this project demanded that sort of?
Yes, sir. There's a major genre shift, basically. Like a previous film of mine or any other film which I've done, it fell on a formula. It had a formula in it. This movie is breaking that formula, first thing.
Okay.
And second thing is a complete genre shift. Like, can you just name me a movie which is a international spy thriller in Tamil?
Right.
It will take some time. You might,
Right.
but it will take some time for you to.
And I understand that Gautam Menon has also started work on a similar.
Maybe I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Not before this, right?
Right. Not before this.
So, so that's it. Because there is a huge genre shift, and I wanted to be more authentic. First thing, and I wanted to be more with a lot of finesse and nuances in it. So on the scripting stage itself, I was very particular to give a film which is a new experience for the film goers and cinema lovers all around.
Okay.
So the demand was obvious and clear.
Now you must have started getting used to how Ajith functions in on the sets of a movie, how to get work out of him, and he must also be pretty used to how you get work out of him as well. Have you gotten so used to working with him now that are you still conscious of this opportunity that you have to be able to work with a star and almost at the top of his game?
Are you asking me that whether I'm not excited as before? Is that
I don't know, I'm asking you, is that true? Are
No,
you
sir.
now used to?
No, sir, no.
Because sometimes when we get familiar with certain things, we get used to them. We don't quite see their value, and that applies to even relationships, I'm guessing. Right?
No, that's what I'm completely on contrary to what is what's the question is.
Right.
It's completely different, sir. First thing is, when I met the person, I never knew that I would like him so much. First thing,
Okay.
because I just met him as an actor director. That's it. Nothing more than that. I have seen his movies. I know that he is a good person. But when I met him 5 years before, the respect for the person grew actually slowly over the period of time for the 5 years. I met him almost every day in this 5 years. 5 years. So the respect got increased like anything. So the admiration got increased. As the admiration and respect grows for a particular person, you try to explore new sides, right?
Right.
So it is not in once. I have never felt the boredom or anything because he's a big star. First thing, my respect keeps on growing.
And you're still very much aware
Of the stardom, yes.
Right.
More than anything, I know that. I know that the kind of adulation and the kind of love he is receiving from the public and masses, huge. And I know, and I respect it.
And you do feel the pressure of having to make the most of it while it's still going on.
No, sir, I
This
do.
association, no?
See, I would know while it's still going on. That's a quite okay. I understand that, but I don't think this is a period, sir.
Okay.
I don't think this is a period. If there is honesty, success will not come in a period. It will be there forever. If there is sincerity, if there is honesty, God will always give you happiness. And I strongly believe it, sir.
Right.
And nothing can shake my belief in that.
And you're also a big believer in
Yes,
God as well.
yes.
I mean, I noticed that you usually
Yes.
punctuate your tweets.
Yes.
Right.
I'm sane enough to understand that I am not doing anything, sir. I'm really, I'm saying
You believe
it.
that good begets good.
Yes, nothing more than that.
Right.
Only that. So I don't think this is a period, and I always believe that this will be forever. This happiness will be forever. As long the honesty is there, the happiness will be there.
And how has your relationship with Ajith evolved over the years? I know you said you started off on an actor-director note.
Yes.
Today, have you reached a state where you both are very close friends with each other?
I will not
Has
call-
this dynamic changed at all?
No, sir. The respect has grown, sir. Actually,
Right. Okay.
my admiration to the person has grown, and I like him so much. I respect him so much. I look upon him, as many do. So that's it.
And one of the things we get all the time when we interview people associated with his films, be it Vedalam, be it Vivegam, every time we talk to somebody, they usually have a couple of things to say about him. They say he's a fantastic person, he's an incredible individual. What are they talking about when they say this?
See,
and you just told me the same as well.
yes, sir. When a person with such a, as you said, with a huge stardom, that stardom gets to their head, right?
Right.
They try to throw attitude. They try to throw tantrums. They try to feel everybody else is small. I've seen that in many places.
In films that you work for?
Not in films,
Okay.
in walks of life. Have you not seen?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
In your field,
I mean, I'm sure
you
you've all met
yes.
such people. Right.
What if one person who is theoretically should follow all this formulae
Right.
and he is not following it?
Right.
What if that person treats everyone as a human being, respects everyone, respects women, respects everybody,
Just being a nice person.
just nice person, really nice person, sir, not for the name's sake. அப்படி இப்படிலாம் கிடையாது, நம்ப முடியாத அளவுக்கு nice person அவர்.
Right.
The kind of things which he do, which I cannot say outside, which is not he's a
So you
very
shouldn't be talking about it. Right.
he's a very good person, sir. He's a very good person.
One of the few things I noticed in some of the interviews you've given so far is there's a lot of comparison with Hollywood as far as this film is concerned. Where does this comparison stem from? Is it on account of your film being a spy thriller? Is that where these comparisons start?
No, narrative, sir. Film's narrative.
Okay.
Every movie has a narrative style. Every Indian film has a narrative style. Every international film has a narrative style. I've tried something in the screenplay, on the narrative, as well as the visuals, in an international style. So the topic of speaking the word international comes in. As people who have involved in the movie, I cannot ask them to stop saying that words, because that's what they felt.
So when you say you've tried to make it an international style, can I ask you to be more specific? I mean,
No,
there
sir.
are one or two things that you
No, I don't want to put that in words. I might lose the essence, because if I want to say something which I have done, which I have already done, if I try to explain it in words, I might lose the essence or the core of it.
Fair enough, I understand. Although I hope you understand why I am asking you that.
Yeah.
We generally get used to a lot of people.
Yeah. But I would like to ask you one question. Since because you put that to me, I would like to ask.
Yes.
You have seen the trailer, right?
Yes, I have.
You have seen my previous films and many other Tamil films trailer.
I have.
Does this trailer looks little different from the other one, or you feel that it is the same?
By virtue of each film being different itself, its promotional material is going to be different. But if you're asking me if the trailer is different in terms of how you presented it, or
I
are
don't
you
know, sir.
talking
I don't
about the
know.
content inside?
No, I'm not talking about anything, sir. People be people. We just watch a lot of trailers,
Okay.
one by one.
Okay.
Certain trailers we feel that this is different from the previous, from the lot. There will be some element which is completely different from.
I'll give you this. It's definitely different from your material that I've seen.
Okay, that's enough for me, sir. That's enough for me. Since because I'm trying something, and I believe that I did it.
I mean, the visuals, for example, the setting itself.
Yes. I cannot comment on any other things, sir. My work, which I have done before, I'm trying to upscale things. I'm trying to do something better than what I did before, in genre shift and anything else. So I've done that.
Yeah.
If people like you or anybody who's watched it saying that this is different from what I've done, I'm happy with that, sir.
Because your first film with him was set in a village. Your second film with him was set in a city.
Yes.
And this film you
I
scaled
don't-
up even further.
Yes, of course.
I wonder what you're going to make with him next if another.
I don't know,
once
sir.
you're
I don't know, sir.
Right. Did you have any concerns before the beginning of this film on how fit he could get, given the number of injuries he suffered? I understand.
No, concern.
I understand he was also in a period of recovery during.
Yeah. When I narrated the script, I was in crutches and was worried because as the film shaped up, a lot of action sequence in it, and it needed a lot of fitness to pull it off.
Right. He couldn't afford to look the way he did in Vedalam, for example. Or could you have managed this film even?
No,
if
I'm
you
not
could-
worried about the looks, sir.
Okay.
The physical strain he would undergo when he's doing all these episodes, that was my worry, because he had an injury. I mean, he had a surgery just before the shoot of this movie,
Right.
and he was recovering from it. So the script demanded a lot of high-speed running and climbing of the mountains, and a lot of things are under bike riding, difficult bike riding, drifting, and he has to go way down to the road and wheeling and a lot of stuff. It requires a lot of.
These aren't things that you can manage with general cinema trickery. No? Even if he were not able to. I mean, was it necessary that he be in the line of fire when it came to these scenes?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yes. He is a person who is having a lot of good reflex, and he knows the job basically.
Okay.
And when an action movie is done, and we have an action hero in our hands, and I would like him to do that, and he will also prefer for him to do that, because
Okay.
he will never allow any dupe to do that,
Right.
because
I heard you mentioning.
because there's a lot of risks involved.
Okay.
If you really want to risk, then it should be us
Yeah.
putting ourselves in front.
Right.
That's what he does.
Right. And considering he plays an agent, I'm guessing.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I mean, what do you do to make that character very familiar with people here? Because it's not, but none of us know of an agent, for example.
That's it.
And it's not an Indian concept generally, is it? I don't know.
So I would beg to differ, sir, because
Okay, right.
when I grew up, basically mine is a Tamil simple family with the kind of comics which I read.
Okay.
It had n number of agents in it.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So I'm very much aware of what this agent is.
Okay. Right.
Like Bond, like Irumbu Kai Mayavi, Tupparim Sankarlal. I can keep on giving you
Fair
examples.
enough. Right.
So if I those,
So-
you
so
will also
you-
remember. You will also remember if I
Right,
say those all these
right,
words.
right.
So people know what is a spy, what is Olavali, because we always say special police. Simple word based. Normal police இல்லை special police.
Which means uniform la irukka maatanga.
யூனிஃபார்மில் இருக்க மாட்டாங்க,
Right.
அவ்வளோதான் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு.
அவ்வளவுதான்.
So people know. So and I always believe the public, sir, actually.
Okay.
If it is presented right, they will love it.
So that was not a matter of concern at all. Script play, how do we make this person one of the people who are watching this film on the road?
Emotionally they will get connected, sir.
Okay.
That is only a job, sir.
Okay.
Again, he is a good husband in the movie. He is a good friend in the movie. He is a survivor in the movie,
Right.
which everybody will relate.
Right.
And he is an agent. I will put it in an order,
Okay.
this order,
Okay.
for people to get more related.
Okay. Okay. One of the better bits in Vedalam that I enjoyed a lot were the action sequences, especially his transformation in one particular scene and the other scene as well, where he's coming in a lift, if I remember right. And I heard you saying that you're a big fan of such action set pieces generally. Where did you get that from? Were you always like that, or did you grow up on a lot of action films which made you want to explore into that area?
Basically, I love heroism, sir. Because I grew up in a home which had a big library. My grandfather used to have a very big library. I read a lot of Tamil literatures. When you watch right heroism, when a commoner wins in the screen, big screen, it is hope, sir, actually. That's what I try to do in my movies. I love doing it. And these heroic moments really complement the heroism. As you said, when a small guy who can hit, like in Vedalam,
Right.
he's confronting such a big Don from Dubai or something like that.
Right.
People get related to it. They will really enjoy it in the screen. That's what I'm trying to pull it off in any movies. Even in Vivegam, it has a lot of heroic moments like that survivor thing. Everybody in our life, we would have faced a downfall or a depression or something.
Right.
And from there, confronting against all the odds and winning away, really proving that
And every story usually goes through those lows before the eventual high anyway.
personal loss, sir. It is like this story deals about the personal thing. It deals about in a ulaviyala, psychologically it deals about that. you should not give up. That is the thing which I try to communicate. No matter how difficult the situation may be, you should not give up. That essence I have tried to pull it off, and it's working out actually.
And I'm sure you were aware of how well received those action set pieces of your previous film was.
Yeah.
So given that, there must have been a lot of emphasis on outdoing your previous work with what you're trying to do here.
See, I love making action sequences basically.
Right.
The way in which I approach action sequences, first I pen down it actually. I break down all the action sequences, all the gags, and then I involve storyboard artists. Then I take it to the stunt coordinators or stunt masters. So on that process, my love towards action sequences has grown like anything.
Okay.
I really love making action sequences.
Right.
So when I designed Vivegam, I wanted to be more authentic movie with a lot of action involved in it. So I wanted each and every action sequence to be completely different from what the previous one. Not about the Vedalam thing.
Okay.
In Vivegam itself.
Oh, okay. Right, I understand.
So I planned in such a way that it had some beautiful chases, spine-chilling chases, and good fist fights, and there is a sword fight, and there is a nunchak fight.
Right. So you're more or less covering all the weapons out there.
Not weapons in the sense. There's a lot of emotions involved also. Not only the weapons for that matter. There is one particular sequence I would like to highlight on, which I have never told anyone, that there is an action sequence which is shot, which happens in between two moving trains.
Okay.
So there will be a delay to watch.
Right.
We have seen action sequence inside the train, which I already shot in Viram. I've seen many action sequence which happens over the train,
Right.
running above the train, all
no,
this stuff.
we all have done.
We
We
have
all
done.
have seen that, yes.
So this particular sequence
Okay.
is, I'm damn sure that you would have not seen it before.
Right.
It happens in between two moving trains,
Okay.
high-speed trains,
Right.
and it has come out really well actually, really well.
Okay.
It will be a good experience to watch.
Right. Right. Do these action set pieces, I mean, how do you conceive of them? Do you just conceive of them as standalone pieces and then try to integrate them into the story? Or are you thinking of the story and thinking, okay, these are the places he will likely go to, so let me figure out what objects and locations I can find out based on where this character is heading to, and then create a set piece out of that? Or are you thinking, wow, I need to shoot a set piece with two moving trains, and then I'll figure out how to bring it into the story?
See, everybody has a different technique of conceiving sequences. When you ask this question, I decode back, and I always start with the emotion which is involved. First, the emotional content comes in. The emotional content decides the purpose of the fight. Emotional content decides the location of the fight, and it also decides the intensity of the fight.
Okay.
So these three things are depending upon the emotion which is. So I always take it from there. So from that breakdown, I decide all the other things.
Okay.
So eventually, what this formula helps is, it makes each and every fight to different from the other one. One can be a
also
thrill.
Makes it feel organic with what's going on in the
Yes,
story.
there will be a blend. The emotional thing would be the thing which is going to blend all the action sequence together.
Right. Okay.
So if there is a difference required, the emotion will decide. If there is similarity required, the emotion will decide. That is the way I decode the action sequences. So that's it. But that's the way actually. That decides all the location stuff.
Because
Not the other way around.
Right. Right. Because you told me that this is a spy thriller, if I'm right. I have to ask you this. I understand that in your previous films, you managed to integrate the sentiment angle. You managed to integrate the romance angle, and they've all become wholesome Indian masala movies, so to speak. But now that this is a genre movie. When you get into the spy thriller genre, I mean, it's a genre movie, right? Like a horror film, there are certain elements that are very essential for such a film. How do you integrate these other elements of yours without compromising on the integrity of the genre?
That is scripting, sir, basically. First thing I would like to say is, if I attempt a genre, I will try to be honest to the genre as much as possible. 100%, I will try to be honest to the project. The second thing is, there are certain things which I believe in, like sentiments, like women's important in the movie, All these things I strongly believe. And I try to integrate those elements to whatever movies which I make. So, when I make a spy thriller with that, so I didn't involve any other emotion in it, like any other sentiment. I've involved the wife's sentiment in it, the husband and wife relationship in it. So I'm not compromising on the Indian emotions, which is very important for any Indian movie to be watched. But
is that an absolute mandatory aspect of an Indian film for you?
not for me.
Yeah, okay.
For me, it
Right.
can be different. Everybody can
Right,
understand.
because we are the same people who also consume other work with as much enthusiasm as
Yes,
well.
yes, yes. But perspective differs,
Fair enough. Right.
vision differs, brought up differs, aspiration differs. If I put it in the right way. So my understanding of Indian movies is this. I would love to watch an Indian movie with a lot of emotion, a lot of action, a lot of purpose. And I would like to direct the same thing. It may be wrong. People may say that in a different way, pursue it in a different way or anything. But I would prefer to watch those kind of movies.
Now, because Game of Thrones is such a big deal, some of those action sequences become very popular.
Yeah,
on
yeah, I've
Facebook
seen
and
that.
Twitter.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
And there are a lot of videos that talk about how an Indian director would have done the same sequence.
Yes.
You know, and they bring in all these
And I,
emotional bits, and on some level, I wonder if they are sort of making fun of our films, right? When they do this.
I don't prefer that, sir. I don't prefer making fun of any filmmakers, for that matter. For me, any job which is done, I respect the job, sir. I will not criticize anybody who is working for their job, who is supporting their family. I will not criticize, no matter what is that. I see it in such a way that, sir, if he is not living up to your expectation, it is not his fault, sir. You don't wear his shoes. And I respect that, sir. I will always respect the individual for his effort. So if somebody is going to say that, as you said, that Facebook or something,
Yes.
I will not enjoy it or encourage it.
No? Okay. So you must have a very difficult time enjoying spoofs.
No, I will not enjoy
because the very nature of those films is sort of
A spoof is different, sir. I don't know. I don't enjoy spoof also. So
no. Okay.
if the filmmaker is doing the same spoof, if a person has done a thing and he is spoofing himself,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He has all the right to do that.
Right. But that's not how it works. Then.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir.
Okay.
I cannot enjoy that.
No. Okay.
I don't know. I cannot enjoy spoof.
Okay. What sort of films have you been inspired by in this genre that you feel have had some effect on?
No, sir. I keep on watching a lot of movies, lot of television serials and episodes, sitcoms. I mean, not sitcoms, television episodes, and a lot of action thrillers. But I will not say that they have influenced my making or something.
No? Okay.
But
இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணணும்ன்ற மாதிரி
no, sir. No. I will not say that it is disturbed my. I mean, it has influenced my making style. But yes, I've enjoyed watching those movies, sir.
Okay.
I can say that the connect which I watch when I watch those movies, I try to put it in my movies. This particular movie, the connect. I can say that, not the sequences or the.
No. Yeah, absolutely. No, I
Maybe
didn't
the
imply
connect.
that you probably wanted to.
Oh, no, not
Yeah,
that. I understood what you asked,
Right.
but the connect when a spy thriller happens, the connect, the thrill moments, that maybe that thing.
With again, with due respect to the success of Vedalam, one of the bits that didn't work for me individually personally
Surikam,
was some of the comedy portion.
Yeah, Surikam. That's
Right. So I'm sure you over time become very aware of what worked in that film and what did not work in that film. I don't want to name the comedian because I don't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem in naming
Right,
also.
okay, fair enough.
Because I love
Is
his
that
work.
one of the reasons that you had to? I don't know if that's the reason you probably changed the.
No, sir, it's not that, sir.
No, okay.
See, Suri's comedy worked big time in BNC, sir. If I don't like to say the word BNC, since because you asked the question, I am just framing it.
Right.
There are 2-3 kinds of people who watch the movies. Their taste differ. Suri, this particular Vedalam comedy which you are talking about,
Right.
worked big time in BNC centers. That's what the inference I got.
Okay.
In A centers, it didn't work. That's what the inference I got.
Okay.
Since because you started the question itself, I said comedy. Suri
Yes.
comedy, right?
Yes.
Before you completed the sentence, because that is what inference I got from the A center.
Right. Okay. So that's where I belong. Nice to
Yes.
know. Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's it. When you tend to make a movie which is going to support, which is going to cater all the centers,
Yeah.
we might lose in some aspects, sir,
Okay.
of not supporting all the centers.
Okay. Okay.
As a filmmaker, I made a mistake. I can take the blame.
You consider that a mistake?
You consider it a mistake when you ask the question.
No,
I don't
I'm asking
consider.
your opinion on that.
No, sir, I don't consider it because I never consider it because I never regret what I did.
Okay,
And
fine.
if something is not working,
Right.
then I take the blame.
Right.
It is not anybody else's mistake.
Right.
Suri was fantastic in the shoot, and Suri was fantastic on the screen when I watched in BNC, and everybody were applauding and very happy,
their hearts
laughing. That's why I'm happy. He's done his job.
Right.
I respect him. That's it.
Right. And that's what you wanted out of that track
Yes,
anyway.
yes, that happened.
Right.
So I don't regret it.
Right.
Sir.
How conscious were you of the comedy portions in this film?
Yeah, this particular film had a difference in the matter we had Karnagaran in it, and it's as the trailer depicted. There's a small thing, right? A
Yeah,
small
very
one,
dry
very small one.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Everybody said it worked out. So that kind of comedy which blends with the script,
Okay.
not a track,
Okay.
not a track. This movie doesn't require a track.
Right.
It required a blend comedy,
Okay.
like a small sneaky one-liners.
Yeah.
That's what the movie required,
Right.
and we did it.
Right. So is it fair to say, because you told me that you knew that these portions would work in certain centers, and you knew that this portion wouldn't work in a certain center, is that something that you were aware of even while making Vedala, for example?
Yeah, I knew that. Sir.
You didn't know that. Okay. So even in this film, would you say that you're during the scripting stage and the making stage, you know exactly what portions are addressed at?
No. Yes, I can say that, but the thing is, I will always believe if the emotional content is right, sir, these comedy portions, the other portions, is for the particular, as you asked, A center, B center, C center.
Right.
For an emotional content, there is no center, sir, actually.
Right.
The basic core of the movie doesn't have any center difference or not. If it works out in A center, it will work in C also.
Yeah.
It is unanimously it will work, as in Vedalam, the sister sentiment.
Right. When the
It
sister
worked
gets
out.
part with the Don and he
Yeah,
has to come.
everybody loved it.
Right.
Everybody loved it. It went on to become a huge hit in all the centers.
Yeah.
So basic core was right.
Right. Even if some people didn't like one or two portions here and there.
That's what that's what I tried to communicate.
Right.
So on the whole, so when I make a script, I see to that it happens. Sir. The small portions it may differ with perceptions and difference,
Okay.
but overall,
Okay.
the soul of the movie should be liked by all the centers. That's what I'm planning. Sir.
Right. I'm very tempted to call these three films that you made the Rage trilogy.
Rage?
Rage trilogy, the
Why is
Rage
it so?
series of films. I tell you that because Veeram was about a man of violence.
Man of violence, yes. You
Right.
can say that.
He's from the village and he has a tough time having conversations, and if there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
problem, he immediately shows a lot of muscle. Vedalam definitely was about a man bursting with a lot of violence. He couldn't wait to unleash it. And I noticed the sort of glee with which he unleashes that violence as well. And in Vivegam, the trailer ends with a line that has him saying,
You will see
now
my race.
rage."
Okay.
Do you agree? Is that a running theme across these films? Would you say, or am I just thinking too much?
I will not.
Because
I
these
will
don't
not.
look like coincidences.
I will not say that you are thinking too much at all. Again, it's your perception of joining three movies together, sir.
Right.
I never thought in this angle, or I never thought that a thought process would be put in this way.
Okay.
But again, I never thought that, sir.
No.
It's three completely different movies. Maybe with three different actors, you would have not got the same idea. I don't know. Maybe what made you to think that I
Because
don't.
ultimately, the protagonist seems to have a lot of anger issues. Right? Either suppressed.
No, sir, I don't think so,
I
sir.
don't know.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. because I have never thought in that angle actually.
Okay.
Maybe this particular thought you are putting in my mind, I might go and think whether it is that or not. But as of now, when I conceived the script or I wrote the script or when I directed the script, I never thought this kind of things in my mind.
Okay. Right, so no problem. On that note, let's end this conversation.
Superb,
Thank you very
sir.
much for
Thank you, sir.
speaking with me. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for asking the good question, new question.